Hi, my name is Liz Hathway and this is my astrological look at the week ahead. That's the week starting Monday 24th of September. So I think the main theme, which started actually already last week, is very much about the reality check, about making things happen in the here and now. Why am I saying that? Well, on Sunday we had Mercury square Saturn, and then today we have Mercury trine Mars. And that same sort of journey through Saturn we'll see on Wednesday when the Sun squares Saturn. And then, of course, on Friday, the Sun will also trine Mars. So it almost feels like to get to the trine, somehow we have to first go through Saturn to get that benefit, to get that boost, to get that, green light to go ahead. It seems that we somehow first have to deal with Saturn in Capricorn, which can, of course, represent, authority figures. It can represent the tried and trusted route, or the course that has to be followed in order to get from A to B. It's like, you want to climb the mountain, you have to take this path. There's something regulatory in Saturn in Capricorn. Saturn in Capricorn these are the rules of the game. Yes, you can win in another way, but that if you do that, you're not going to get the accredited reward at the end of it. So it's kind of like he's kind of like a stone really around your neck, Saturn in Capricorn sometimes, because it very much represents, as I say, the physical reality of the thing. So it can quite often be indeed a sort of bodily barrier. You're climbing the mountain, but you realise your knees aren't going to sort of hold up to the task, or you run out of oxygen along the way. It can be a physical border that you run into in yourself, but it can also just be, as opposed to things that look good or sound good, or the virtual reality of it. Saturn can, suddenly find itself back on your desk with a few very basic points that haven't been taken care of. Because Saturn is very much concerned about not the what ifs and the maybes and the fantasy. And Saturn is very much concerned with, but what have you got now? What are the real time profits going to be? I don't want to hear about the speculation. What's the facts? What have you got now? And this is where Saturn can sometimes deflate as well. It can be quite a deflatory sort of energy. But as I say, so we have the Sun in Libra, which is very much about cooperative effort. It's very much about, getting you on board, sharing the idea. This is air. Air is an element to share. Also, I find with Libra, they are very able and willing to compromise. But I think with Saturn in the picture, it's very important this week that any compromise you make doesn't somehow affect your personal integrity, because this is a tricky area for Libra, I think, sometimes, because they don't want to disrupt or create waves in relationships. They don't want to have an argument. They can be a little less than honest sometimes, to keep the peace. I mean, the intentions are very often good, but I mean, the end result sometimes can be, that sense of maybe some loss of integrity, or, the opinion or the view that other people can have of you can be coloured then by this experience, where it turns out you weren't as behind that idea as you might have led to believe in the first instance. So it's very much, I think, about how far do you want to go to maintain a relationship. And I think with Saturn in the picture, it's sort of very much, asking you to be clear on certain points, that this is where for you the buck stops. And this is personal integrity. And then on the back of the square, as I said, on Wednesday we have Sun square Saturn, which can be this authority figure, or the road you have to take, or some kind of physical barrier, or a slowdown. But it's followed on Friday by the Sun trine Mars, which is very much the green light. So this is very much more expansive. The idea can get out there. There's a speediness with trines because the energy is flowing, as opposed to the squares where it feels like you run into a wall. It's something you have to work through. The squares, the trines are okay. You've done all that now. Once you've got that stamp, you know, you can pass go, you can pick up your $200 or whatever, and, you know, life carries on. So this is the kind of energy of the week. It's a sort of stop-start sort of energy. As I say, Mars is now back in bounce as well. So there's not that need perhaps to really push it to the limits and beyond. It's a little bit more tempered. Responses are a bit more tempered. And with Mercury in conjunct Neptune on Sunday, again, this is that reality check. This is, not allowing yourself to be, swept up in somebody else's fantasy in a way. It's very much with Saturn now and Pluto in Capricorn, and also soon Uranus coming into Taurus. It's very much about keep it real, make it happen, but keep it real. Okay, that's my take on the week. Have a great time. I'll speak to you again.